Hey guys, Kitty Sapphire here, and how's everybody doing this evening? I hope you guys are doing very, very well. I noticed that the last video I did, the Speedpaint and the heart-to-heart video, seemed to be a very interesting start, a very unique and different way that I usually do my speed paints. The first speed paint that I did was authenticity and why it's so important to be an authentic artist and do what you want, especially nowadays where a lot of people feel a certain way and artists are basically dealing with a lot of conflict regarding AI and other forces that are pushing them back. But that's not what I want to talk about today. First off, I just want to say thank you for your interest in that video because it was mainly an experiment. And because of that, I decided to continue with this video called Bad Art. Now, I know that bad art, or the colloquialism or the idea of bad art has been cropping up on a lot of social media, other parts of YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, all those other places. And I want to talk about how important bad art is. Now, first of all, what is bad art? And bad art is simply art that may not be up to your standards, has errors in it, has flaws in it. It might not necessarily be what you wanted right off the bat. Anything that you might not be comfortable with or you see flaws in. And you can be actually quite proud of your bad art. If you saw me, I'm doing quotation marks. You could be very proud of your bad art because as you grow as an artist, your skill set grows. And the importance of this is bad art helps you with getting better as an artist. And all of us as artists have bad art, done bad art, and will continue to do bad art throughout our whole entire career. Now, some of you you might think, well, that's not true. Your insert your favorite artist here, whether it's anything from the Ghibli movies, anything from your favorite comic book like DC, Marvel, Image Comics, Dark Horse. Insert any artists from Mappa Studios, Trigger, Curiani, Science Sanrio. Sorry, skip that one. Any particular type of studio that you can think of. I'm running out of studios to think of, but think of even Disney, artists at Disney and Pixar, they all have created bad art in their lifetime. And even so, there are some cases where if they went back to their favorite art pieces, concept art, things that are final products, they could probably point out a couple of errors or two of what they would have changed in their particular final draft or their completed draft. And that's because we artists are constantly growing. We artists are constantly changing and experiencing new things. And because we experience new things, there's certain things that motivate us, inspires us, and are different from where we first started off. And this new discussion of bad art seems to stem from a lot of the rise of AI, or how a lot of people are, especially creatives, are feeling very isolated right now and feel like they're livelihoods and jobs are threatened by AI. And rightfully so, they can be upset. Heck, I have my own feelings about AI, but that's a video for another time. But what seems to be one of the Achilles or weaknesses of AI is that AI is fake. It's an image. I won't say entirely. I will never say AI art, but AI images in many cases are perfect, a little too perfect, which makes sense because of its design and what it's for, or what it's commonly used for. And one of the things that are beautiful about being a creative and creating art of any format, that it's in perfect nature. Its sense of expression and sort of feelings, memories, interpretation on that spot at that time, once that art is created, it shows a lot of the flaws, a lot of the errors, what I like to call fingerprints of the artist. The fingerprints of the artist, which makes them distinctly different from any other artist, any other creator that walks on this planet. You could have so many people doing the same style, same anime style, or same westernized style, or same, I know comic books in India has a particular type of style as well. You got, many artists might take up on a certain style that might come from a particular type of culture, area, or anything that inspires them at that time. Actually, you know what? I'll make the example even more simpler. You have a bunch of people who loved Sailor Moon, grew up with Sailor Moon, was inspired by Sailor Moon. Hell, a lot of them turned into cosplayers, artists, fantasy writers, etc. But even though all of us, including myself, because I'm a huge fan of Sailor Moon, even though we were all inspired by Sailor Moon and became Moonies, that experience of watching Sailor Moon was distinctly different for each and every other creator. Their sense or their emotions that they captured once when they were children, or when we were children, all related to us differently. So even if I have somebody who also likes Sailor Moon, their experiences are a lot different from my own. Same thing with art. Because we share so many different memories that are entwined with that time where we were inspired by Sailor Moon or something on the outside when we were younger, it's not going to translate exactly the same. So you're going to have, because of those experiences and memories are felt differently, it registers in the art as well. So you have some artists that went to art school. You have some artists that never went to art school. You have some artists that catch on certain things a lot quicker than others. Some people specialize in anatomy because that particular part is what some artists are very passionate about, and they apply it to whatever their inspiration is, whatever their muse is at the same time. This is the same thing with bad art. You can have somebody who's really good at character design but might be really bad at posing, or concept or line art, and it translates differently, and it's okay. It is okay to have this. From a lot of my experiences, especially talking with other artists or upcoming artists, I hear a lot of them say, well, I can't draw as good as you. And often I always ask them, well, can you show me what you got? Just show me. And they usually show me what they have, and of course comes, oh, it's not that good compared to your art. And I think, again, a lot with this bad art mindset, it helps kind of heal a lot of the comparison that we find a lot in social media. It's not a full-on healing, because healing has to be constantly nurtured, taken care of, and it has to be almost like every day, but that's another conversation for another time. But in our social media driven world, we've developed a really bad, I'm sorry, that's my phone. We have developed a really bad habit of comparing ourselves. We compare to ourselves to our other artists and where they are in their art journey, and we get discouraged very easily when we see our favorite artist or an artist that has a skill set that is what we feel is better. I can think of several artists in my camp that I lovely to talk to, lovely to conversate and learn how to grow and try to get out of these stagnant states. But we compare ourselves. With getting more comfortable with bad art, we realize that, well, I hope in the long run that people realize that having bad art is not a bad thing. It is just a learning curve, and you learn to embrace those aspects of you. Because all it is a recording of your journey from where you were to what you are now, and you will continue to grow the more time, the more skill and effort that you put in. A huge example of this is not too long ago, I attended a birthday party, and I ran into this wonderful young lady who I showed my art to. A lot of us are are huge nerds. Some of us do cosplay. Some of us are huge anime fans. Actually, all of us are anime fans. We play D&D and all that other stuff. So I ran into this young woman, and I showed her some of my art, and she's like, "Oh my god, that looks so cool," which is really sweet, so thank you for that. But she told me that she was planning to do, or she did a painting, and I don't know, she was just captured and engulfed in a particular type of emotion, so she wanted to express it through painting. And she was really nervous to show me, and I was like, come on, show me. And she showed me, and it was a very bit of abstract paint or abstract art, more around not a lot of shapes but colors, and I was really intrigued to the placement of the colors. You had this side that was really, really dark with blacks and greens, and this beautiful other side that was very warm with reds and orange and gold colors, and I was like, ooh, this looks very interesting. And then of course the middle area had this sort of snake-like structure in the very middle, and she was very sheepish about it. She's like, it's not that good and what have you. And I was like, what are you talking about? I really like how the placement of the colors are. Now, it's not perfect. And if she wasn't going for abstract, I can understand and, understand their feeling of frustration. But doesn't necessarily mean this piece wasn't a triumph. It was a triumph in what she was trying to do at the time, was to express her emotions outwardly the best of her ability. Now, if she wants to expand on her skill set and make it a little bit more, in her view, coherent with more shapes, more well-defined shapes, that has to be her passion, and that's what she has to do in order to get better, because this is what she wants. She wants to express these things in a more detailed, more refined area. But in my opinion, based on looking at this picture, it is refined to me in the sense of how she placed the colors. Let me clarify even more so. I'm a big fan of colors. I like using very saturated, very bright, vibrant colors. Mainly my trinity of colors are blue, purple, and pinks. I like to use a lot of them in my artwork, but as I've gotten more so and during my transformation, and which I'm still doing and trying different stuff, I noticed that as much as I love using pinks and purples and blues, I'm yearning to add more color to my pictures. that it's not just pink, purple, and blue. Those are the foundation, those are the essence of my colors. However, there are several million other hues that I could choose from to make my work pop and still not lose those main trinities of color. Again, doesn't mean all my other art pieces that I've done in the past are less than. It's more of, this is what I look for now in my art when I do profile pictures, pinup pictures, etc. So the biggest thing in that particular case is not also, as a person who's an observer, give a chance to that artist to nurture their interest, their desire, because it's very easy to say to them that if they're struggling or feeling a certain way about their art, it's very easy to give into that negative aspect. Oh, it might be right, especially if your skill set is a little bit more advanced than theirs, or you're a lot more ahead. It's like, the best way I could describe it is like playing a RPG. I'm sorry, that's my phone again. It's like playing an RPG game where you're at level 70 and the person who's just starting is at level 5. It's nothing bad. You're both enjoying the game at your own pace, but your skill sets and your time and dedication to that particular craft is a lot different. And also the fact that by you not shunning them and saying, oh, well, that's awful, I know you want to do something better. Instead, by saying something positive about it. Like me personally, the colors were the ones that drew me. But she expressed that she wants to do more with shape. Okay, so I leaned into the aspect of, hey, this is what she wants. She wants more shapes. I'm not going to belittle her. I'm not going to treat her differently. I want her, because I see this sprouting new artist that wants to explore. I give her words of encouragement, in hopes that she would take that bit of advice and encouragement and continue painting. I'm looking forward to see her how she paints in the future, whether it has to do with strokes, whether it has to do with color theory, how more color will relate to each other in the future. But it's so important to have some kind of art on paper, even if it's not something that you inherently want for yourself. And it's something like, I've seen people do stick figures. Hell, there was an animation on YouTube where I don't know if anybody's seen this. They probably seen this, but it's like a lot of the action fights, but it's all done through stick figures. And if stick figures can be cultivated into a full-on animation, then those who draw stick figures, hey, if you harness that and start with stick figures, because I know a lot of artists, gesture art, study of anatomy, start out that way. Hey, I don't know. That looks like a budding of an artist to me. But yeah, so bad art is very important. It is the foundation of a lot of artists, for any artist, from cosplayer to voice actor to filmmaker to anybody who wants to create and add to this world through art and want to say something about their emotions, how they feel, how the world works, even adding simple beauties to it, or what you deem as beautiful. So you have to start somewhere. And bad art is definitely a good way to start. But I think that is going to be it for my talking points for today of bad art. I hope you guys really enjoy this little talk of mine. If you want me to do more videos of this, like authenticity, which was the first one, the heart to heart, on my Patreon and YouTube page, please send a like, comment, subscribe on my YouTube page, as well as support on my Patreon and Ko-fi page. Yeah, I just recently released a coffee. So for those who are much more, if they don't feel comfortable on Patreon, but they rather deal with coffee instead, there's your opportunity. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear what you guys think about bad art, and is it important to you? Is it something that you do on the daily? Hey, even pictures of works in progress or your own art journey. I would love to hear all about it, and hope that you will continue on forward into the future. But that's it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and see you later. Bye.